Today's topic: top 3 reasons you're still single, why you can't find a potential future partner, things you must do now in order to successfully find someone. Also, the grave consequences of not prioritizing love in your life. Understand that the truth will hurt. There's no avoiding it. If the shoe fits. If what I say now makes you feel upset, instead of lashing out by attacking the messenger, I highly advise you to take that bottled up, burning, negative energy and put it to good use for your own good. Okay? Always think positive, people. I'm only here to help you. So remember, like I just said, I'm here to help you. But if you are far too afraid to ask for help, then there's nothing you, myself, or anyone else can do to help you. It's that simple. The desire to significantly change your life must ultimately come from within. Find out what's holding you back. Find the solutions. So that's what this show is going to be all about. It's not just whether you're too shy, too scared, or too lazy. We're going to get into what I feel are the top 3 reasons why you're still single. So without further ado, let's go ahead and begin, shall we? Reason number 1 for why you're still single. You think you're living a happy life, but you know deep down inside that you're not. You convinced yourself that happiness doesn't even exist. You lied to yourself by saying that living all alone is fun and satisfying. You're living in denial. It's time to break the cycle if you want to feel what it's like to be completely happy in life. You can play the tough guy or tough gal all you want, but that won't change the fact that you are lonely, desperately forcing yourself to believe otherwise. You are your own worst enemy. No matter how many games you play, movies or shows you watch, no matter how many virtual or offline distractions you engage in, you know deep down inside that this is not what life is all about. You know that you need someone to love. The solution is simple. You don't have to stop playing video games, watching movies, shows, or engage in your typical daily distractions. All you have to do is limit your distractions. I'm talking about drastically spending less time on these time-wasting distractions. In life, if you truly want to get something done, you must put away all distractions and focus 100% of your effort on achieving your goals. With love, the same level of focus applies. How can you meet anyone if you're spending all of your time alone, wasting your life away? The worst part is when you're finally in your 30s, 40s, 50s, or even 60s, still living single, still pretending that you're living such a great life, when you know that's not true at all, you will sadly look back and realize that almost all of your life was fully wasted for nothing. So think about it, people. You know, that's the shame. I grew up in the 80s and the 90s, early 2000s, and here I am, 2024. So what's my opinion at 42? Which I believe age is just a number, but I've got a lot of experience. I saw the television take over society. I saw games and computers take over society. But it's not technology's fault. It's how you handle it. So it used to be that the lazy husband, the cliche husband, would come back home after a hard day's work, plop himself down on the sofa, and watch the ball game, while his wife cooks and cleans and just plays the housewife, all the hard work. And you say, well, I had a long day at work, honey. That's too bad. You're part of the family, especially if you have kids to teach and to teach them wisdom and intelligence so that they don't make the same mistakes you or your wife did, etc., etc. But if you're just going to plop yourself down on a sofa, I don't care how hard you work, think about what you're doing. You do need to rest. That's paramount. That's crucial. But think about what you're doing with your time. Are you playing the same video games over and over? Are you nostalgic, stuck in the past? Are you worried about the future? And that's why there's always a trigger as to why you're so repetitive, senselessly repetitive. So what is that trigger? It's a lack of action, more often than not. Something you need to do, but you're postponing, you're kicking the can down the road. Well, let me tell you, you're going to hit a dead end one day. And I don't want that for you. So I want you to think long about this certain situation if the shoe fits. Give it some nice long thinking, because you're going to reach a dead end. And all these distractions are going to mean absolutely nothing. You're going to look back and say, what the heck did I do with my life? Nothing. But play games and watch movies and repeat, rinse and repeat. And a lot of these people will argue with you. They'll say, well, I have a right to do. Yeah, you do. But what did you accomplish? And the sad reality is, a lot of these people in this category, they don't accomplish anything, let alone find somebody to love. And it's really sad, because that's not what life is about. So let's go ahead and continue. This is the top reason right here. We have just a lazy reality when it comes to people in general. And then they want to turn around and blame that, oh, there's no good women out there. There's no good men out there. Well, I don't think so. I beg to differ. It's because you're not doing anything about it. You're not actually actively placing love as a priority in your life. So that's reason number one. Let's go ahead and move on to reason number two for why you're still single. You work hard, go home, rest, probably falling asleep on your couch or on the floor, dead tired. You wake up the next day just to repeat another stressful day all over again, like Groundhog Day. Maybe you're on call, barely having weekends off or any time off. This is not life, people. This is not worth it. You are nothing but a slave in this case, to your job, to your so-called career of slavery. It's crucial to realize that even if you earn millions of dollars, billions or trillions even, from slaving yourself away, by the time you retire, the end will not be a happy one. By the time you retire, you'll be an old, worn-out, grumpy, lonely man or woman with no one by your side, wondering what the hell was the point of slaving your life away in the first place. You'll look in the mirror with a grim, emotionless face, full of wrinkles and sadness, shedding tears of regret. The solution is simple. Stop living a stressful life right now. If you have to change your job for a far less stressful one, even if it pays far less, do it. I highly recommend finding a job that allows you to have enough free time to spend looking for a potential future soulmate. I mean, what is it worth to you? Only completely miserable people will immediately say something along the lines of, what do I need a soulmate for? Why do I need love in my life? We are not here in life to be slaves, making other people rich and famous, by the way. We are here to experience the greatest gift of life, which is true love. I don't care what job or career you're involved in. Your future happiness has absolutely nothing to do with money or fame. The only way to be happy in this life, as I always say, is to love someone with all of your heart and soul who deserves it, and to be loved by someone who loves you the same, because you deserve it. So this is reason number two. You're just slaving away, going through the motions in life, doing things just to do things, rinse and repeat, and you believe that that's the reality. Sadly, that is. That's the sad reality for most people in this life, unfortunately. But does it have to be that way for you? Can you be the exception? I'm the exception. I don't work like a slave. I enjoy 100% what I do every single day, offline and online. So, what's your vice? What's your calling in life, right? You have to figure it out. The sooner the better. Because you don't have to work like a slave. I don't care how high the bills are. Well, then work on lowering your bills. Live more like a minimalist, right? Trust me, you don't need the cars or the upgrades in the house. If you're investing in a home, I get it, I understand. But if you can't afford it in the end, make a decision. They call it a mortgage for a reason. You might want to look up that definition. I mean, you got to think about your life. What are you here for? Because if you think that paying bills and just playing games and no, that's not what life is about. So let's go ahead and move on to the next category, shall we? The last category. Reason number 3 why you're still single. You just don't understand what real love is, what it's supposed to feel like, what it's supposed to look like, and how to establish a meaningful, long-lasting, loving relationship. Your main problem is not wanting to learn from others. You still haven't learned from your past failed relationships. You keep meeting the same toxic people who you know are horrible potential future partners. You're stubborn, just beyond belief, and don't ask for help because you think that somehow that'll make you look weak or stupid if you ask for help. The fact is, everyone who has ever succeeded in anything has asked for help. They also had to learn a lot from those willing to help them. There is no shame in asking other successful people, such as myself, for help. As a relationship coach, I only want you to succeed. The credit is ultimately yours, not mine. I can only guide you, but you must allow me to help you with my own unique, intelligent, wise, easy to follow, powerful advice. I would definitely not be doing what I do today if I didn't feel 100% confident with everything I teach, both offline and online. Please understand this. What I focus on is giving you the tools you need to succeed in the realm of love. Just like I did. If you are currently living single, all alone, with no one to love, and you are ready to begin your search to find someone worthy of your love, you have to put value in yourself, okay, people? You lose nothing at all by asking for my help or anybody else's help, because it doesn't even have to be my help. If you have wise, intelligent, loving parents, for example, ask them for guidance and admit that you are failing and need their help. If you have loving brothers, sisters, or friends who have succeeded in finding love, ask them for help until you finally succeed yourself. So if you have an attitude problem, which is being stubborn, which is still the reason why you're single, I don't need a relationship coach, I don't need anybody's help. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. It's the same as if you were in school and you're failing that math test over and over again and you're not going to pass the course until you pass the test, right? What do? You go look for a tutor, somebody who's an ace, an expert. They're going to teach you how to pass the test, and what happens? Years and years down the road, you won't even remember that tutor's name. You don't have to. You don't have to remember their name. You just have to remember that you passed the course because you were brave enough to ask for help. End of story. It's like planning a wedding. You need a caterer. You need people to, do the whole feng shui, the organization. You need a whole team, a wait staff, etc., etc. You can't do the wedding alone. So, of course, you have to pay for all of that, if that's the case, if that's what you plan to do for a wedding. Or you can just go to Vegas and get married there. To each their own. The point is, you have to make things happen, right? And many times you have to ask for help. You have to make the arrangements. You have to manage, right? So you can't be a good manager in life if you don't ask for help. Look at it when you go order food, you have to place the order, right? They're not just going to give you what they can't read your mind. You have to ask them, right? You have to place an order. Okay, so what's the order in your life? What do you want to accomplish? Because if you place love at the end, of course you're going to fail in the realm of love because it's not your priority. You don't care enough to want to find love in your life. And by the way, you have to create that love between two people. You don't find it. I'm just saying find somebody who's willing to take it to the next level. So don't play the ridiculous dating game because you're only going to get let down most of the time, if not all the time. Find somebody to establish a great friendship with of the opposite sex, become great friends, and let them know that you're looking forward to potentially taking things to the next level so that they know it's not just a friendship. You guys want to be friends first. And if that works out and you both want to take it to the next level, then you both take it to the next level. If she wants to put you in the friend zone, that's a no-go. And just respectfully, amicably end the friendship. Because there's no use for it. You're on a mission to find somebody who's willing to go to the next level. And then to the further levels ahead of that. So as long as you sit there saying, I don't need anybody's help, then you're going to just remain the same, the status quo. There's no change in your life. No life altering, oh my goodness, I'm so happy. And nope, because you want to keep your head in the sand. That's your choice, not mine, and not anybody else's. You know, people for the most part, you can say that this world is evil as much as you want, but there's a lot of people who are they're willing to help you. They want to help you. If you just ask for their help, you'll be surprised. If you're afraid to trust anybody in this world, you have a lot to lose. I trust people all the time. And if they break my trust, so be it. I learn from the experience and I move on. It's not a big deal. I'm not going to sit there and say, oh my goodness, you can't trust anybody nowadays. No, yes, you can. Because if I said that, then that means that nobody can trust me. And that's false. You can trust me. And I should be able to trust you. I bet you want me to trust you, so you can't go around saying you can't trust anybody. So this attitude right here, reason number 3, why you're still single if the shoe fits, is because you keep turning the cheek the other way. You don't want to read my book or watch my 1-hour video course, or if it's not from me, asking for my help, you don't want to ask your parents for help, your brothers, your sisters, your friends, just people, your colleagues at work, anybody who has a successful relationship, a serious relationship. Go ask them questions. Pick their brains. I'm sure they'll be more than pleased to answer your questions, and you're not going to look foolish to them. You should stop worrying about that. Even in sports, what do we have? We have coaches, right? Without the coach, there's no team. And without a team captain to learn from, there's no team. Everybody plays their part. Because if I didn't have a teammate, then there is no team. So how are you going to make it in the realm of love if you can't even ask for help? And guess what you're going to have to do in a relationship? You're going to have to ask your partner for help so many times. It's crazy. Because they have to support you as much as you support them. I mean, it's a 2-member team. It's that simple. But people have to make it so complicated, so difficult with this negative attitude, this negative mindset. I don't need anybody. I can do it on myself, by my own. Rawr. Extreme feminist or extreme machismo. What are you doing? You're only you're handicapping yourself. Everything in life, even the ants, they can lift 30 times their own weight or more, and they still work together. All of them pulls their weight. If they didn't ask for help, they wouldn't never build the ant farms that they do underground. Or the ant hills, the houses, the complex homes with all these tunnels. I mean, those are ants, for crying out loud. You know how much bigger you are compared to an ant? And you're going to sit there and say, I don't need anybody's help. That's so immature. And there's no wisdom or intelligence in that statement. I don't need anybody's help. Oh my goodness, let's go ahead and proceed. It's just mesmerizing how in 2024, humanity itself, we still have people out there who are so stubborn and they're wasting years, decades of their life away. They wait until their deathbed to say, I wish I would have done things differently. Maybe that Benjamin Ramos guy had a point. Maybe I could have... No, it's too late. There you go. The end of time before you knew it. It's too late, partner. So this is what happiness looks like, ladies and gentlemen. The top 3 reasons, once again, on why you're still single, most likely. You are living in denial. You are a slave to your job. You are too stubborn to ask for help. Life doesn't have to be about misery and suffering. Life can be everything you want it to be, but it's up to you. Don't live your life as one of many miserable zombies, wasting their lives away, addicted to all kinds of senseless distractions. Oh yeah, they're out there. They always have been and always will be. Life is full of all these crazy distractions, now more than ever. Once you find someone to love with all of your heart and soul, You will not even desire to spend so much time on any type of distraction, no matter how many there are. When you are truly in love with that special someone, always by your side, no video game, movie, show, sport, or hobby will ever come close to the enormous pleasure you'll feel each and every single day with the love of your life by your side. The time to make it happen is now. Okay? It was yesterday, for crying out loud. And if you failed in a relationship, so what? It's perfectly fine. Learn from your mistakes. Make sure you don't find somebody like that ever again. Make a better choice this time. But you can't sit there and say, you know what, I tried 5 times, 10 times with all these types of people. Well, maybe you're the problem. In the end, you don't know how to choose somebody that's right for you. So, if you want to learn from others, I highly suggest you do so. Because if you keep failing the test over and over again, something tells me that you need some tutors. At least one tutor. I'll be your tutor. There's no shame in asking for help once again. But hey, you can turn the cheek and sit on that couch and live your life all alone, convincing yourself that everything's fine and dandy. I'm so happy being alone. There's peace and quiet. Yeah, there's peace and quiet. Until the silence starts killing your mind slowly. It's going to happen. It's just like money. If I gave you millions of dollars right now, billions, trillions, you're going to go out and buy everything that you've ever dreamed of and then some. You're going to travel the world like 10 times, and guess what you're going to do? You're going to come back home and say, oh my goodness, there's nothing to do. What do I do? And you're going to start having panic attacks and everything. Even Justin Bieber himself, as a small, tiny little example of a millionaire, you know what he did one day? He started throwing around his expensive shoes and whining on a stream. And he was like, none of this matters. I mean, think about it, people. And there's so many celebrities who have come out, so many rich people, not just celebrities. Rich people that came out and said, you know what, life is not about money. And they have billions of dollars. There's even billionaires who just wear normal Walmart clothes because they're sick of wearing suits and ties. And they don't even have an expensive car. They just drive a Toyota or something. Or a Ford. And you wouldn't even think that they're billionaires or millionaires. That's what happens, people. So stop, slaving your life away from money if that's the case, or fame. You don't have to be famous. You can be rich but not famous. You could be famous but not rich. You could be rich or famous or not both. But what really matters in life is happiness. And the sooner you realize that, the better. Because every day is going to be priceless. So when you fully understand what that word means, priceless, tears of joy, not tears of sadness, that, my friends, is true love. Thanks for watching, everybody. Much love.